Hello there, Sarah from 17 once again, introducing you to my Modern Warfare 3 Veteran Difficulty video walkthrough. This is Mind the Gap, and this is still in Act 1, I believe. And we're going to be playing as the beautiful boys from Hereford, the good old SAS. And any other English guy that you hear speak on the game, or in the multiplayer when you play Headquarters and he does the whole "capture the objectives" type thing. And it's a fun level, this one, but it can be quite challenging at moments because there's a lot of guys and it's all about pushing the checkpoint and pushing cover intelligently. And if you get a little bit too impatient like I often do, you'll die a few times. But that being said, it's not too long. There's a massive rail section on it where you barely have to do anything. But if anybody remembers Gaz from the old games, he's not in this one, but his voice actor is, and he's Wallcroft is the voice actor of Gaz. If you want to put a face to the dude, he was the guy who was talking about soccer in Cliffhanger, the dude who tries to kick the guy to death, and then he gets thrown off the mountain. That is the voice of Gaz, that is the face of the guy who voices Gaz, just if you were wondering. And this section here, you've got a silencer, and you've got to come through and take out a bunch of guys. I've never messed this up before until I recorded it. And what happens is, usually you don't push it this aggressively. Usually you're a little bit more stealthy. And my team take down a bunch of guys. But it turns out I'm pushing a little fast and that guy shoots me instead of going down. Because the P90 had to reload and I got caught with my pants down. But if you take this area a little bit slower, your team will clear out just as many people as you do. And you shouldn't get shot, really. But here we go, entering into the first building. And the start bit is very simple. The only bit that's challenging on the start bit is when you have to go through the glass. Don't do it too, gung-ho, because if you go down too soon, the van will blow up that pulls up and will kill you. It did it to me when I was recording. But just keep pushing through. I would definitely recommend picking up the P90 purely because it's silenced as well. It's an awesome submachine gun, it's got good iron sights, and it's got a very large clip. And for veteran that means a lot, because it means you can kill a few people. But once you come down here, you want to lay down by these boxes, and this is when the hard part starts. And the one problem I've got with this game is the checkpoint system. The checkpoint system is fucking garbage. You can't even defend it. If anybody remembers Modern Warfare 2, what is wrong with my brain today? Call of Duty 4, no fighting in the war room on veteran. When you went down those corridors, occasionally you'd get a checkpoint, but for the most you wouldn't get a checkpoint. This game is a little bit like that at times. You can do full levels and not get a checkpoint, and then on your second play through them, you'll get 5. It's really strange. I don't know if it's because of the difficulty, if it's based on how many times you die. I don't know if there's a system. All I know is I don't like it and it's frustrating. A good example of this is a level in Paris later on where you're firing an AC-130 at a bunch of tanks. The entire sequence itself, especially the first one, is not too hard at all. Then you go into a building, you move through the building and you're sniping, then you go back into the AC-130, and on my recording run, I did practically the entire level, died at the fucking end on something stupid, and I was all the way back at the start of the AC-130 bit, because there'd been no checkpoints. And then when I tried it again, I got a checkpoint every 10 minutes, every 2 minutes, as if they were throwing them out like a fucking charity. And it's not cool, that, man. Getting screwed by checkpoints and having to play a ton of the game again. And if I was on foot with my gun, I wouldn't have minded. But the AC-130 bits in this game are boring as shit. They're just, take out the tanks, now look at this, now see the red squares. And to me, that's not fun. I've done that before. It was fun the first time, now it's getting a little bit old. It's only fun in the multiplayer, and even then, it's nowhere near as good as it was in the second one, because the delay on the boxes is ridiculous. But this push into this area that I like to use for cover is quite challenging. I always preface it with a stun. It just makes it much simpler. And just watch your flank, because right then I should have died. But luckily enough, the drop shot can confuse the computer, and I managed to get some shots off on him. This corner here, to the left of that forklift truck, there is an explosive barrel. I came through here and I got killed by it because it had already been set off on fire, and I took cover next to the truck and it blew me up. So just be aware of it, be aware of your surroundings, and try not to get screwed, because it happens a lot. You're practically a fucking cock ring on a porn star sometimes on this game. You're just along for the ride. But keep on pushing, keep on, guising how far you've got to run to get to your next piece of cover, and make sure you hit the ground when you get there. And just play intelligently. And you're going to notice that I move up the right pretty much exclusively, because it's just something I always try and do. I always go for the right hand side, which is, I don't know, it's contradictory to my normal theory, but it works wonders on this game. But just keep pushing forward, keep being aggressive, keep forcing the spawns and trying to get ahead of them. And try and stay alive. And keep watching the top left for that checkpoint, because as soon as you hit that checkpoint, you know you can be a little bit more careless. And it's probably a good opportunity to speak about Call of Duties in general when it comes to my gameplays of them. Anybody that's been with my channel a long time will know that my very first ever video on YouTube was a Call of Duty Black Ops commentary. I've commentated over Black Ops, Call of Duty 4 and Modern Warfare 2, and I will be releasing a bunch of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 videos that will be commentaries. I'll also be doing little clips of silly things or whatever that I find, and I'll probably be doing a volume series of Analyze That, and maybe even a couple of the montages that might be fails, that might be something silly. I don't know, I'll be doing a lot of content for it, and for the people that have only seen me do walkthroughs, just don't be surprised by this. Don't seem to think that I'm jumping on a bandwagon or anything. It's what I've always done. It's just at the moment in time, these last month has been nothing but guides, because a lot of good games have been coming out. And all the videos I put up, they're not a representation of skill. They're not me saying I'm better than anybody else. They're just my take on a game that I like to play. I'm not saying that I'm the next, fucking Sandy Ravage or anything silly like that. I'm not saying that my little clips are going to change your life. They're just something to throw up and something to diversify, my channel from, just non-stop guide videos, because there's a lot of people that originally subscribed to me because of the stuff I did with the Call of Duty. So if you don't like it, you don't have to watch it. It's that simple. You can always watch something else, because I do like to alternate the videos when I've got a little bit more time to focus and a little less, clusterfuck of guides. There'll definitely be different things. I'll be leapfrogging different things, and hopefully it'll keep everybody that's here for a long stay and well entertained. But there's your checkpoint. I mean, look at this thing. This gun is so good. I can't wait to get it on the multiplayer, because it tears people down. It does some serious damage. It really does. It's such a good gun. And when you push down here, be careful, because there's a bunch of guys and they form like a firing squad, and your team are already telling you to push forward. But if you push forward, you'll be the first one to die. I will guarantee you that. It's just silly sometimes. And as soon as you hit this jeep, this is the on-rails section. And the only real strategy for this is if you crouch, you're a little less harder to hit. And you don't really have to shoot anything unless he's hitting you enough to kill you. And it's hard for them to do that, because everything's moving. But just keep shooting, keep on playing it safe, keep on, watching the ridiculous nature that is, Modern Warfare campaigns. And one thing I am curious about on this game, especially towards the multiplayer, I have been talking a lot multiplayer. If you're not interested in it, I do apologise, but it's on my mind because I played a lot yesterday and I want to play some now, but I've got to do this. There's a theatre mode engaged aspect of it, and I don't know if it has something to do with Call of Duty Elite. And I've not managed to look through the menus and figure out if there is an area where I can go back and watch my games. Because I played about 5 games before I even recorded the first few that I did. And I think the second game I recorded, I got an AC-130, so that's going to be the first gameplay you're going to see. Because it's the first one where I actually did well. Because for the most, I was getting things like 19 and 4s, and like 11s and 1s and stuff, and pretty small games, and a couple that were like 19 and 18 because people were playing like bitches, and for whatever reason I was just getting my shit pushed in. And a big random mix of it. But I'm interested because there was a couple of good games on those first 5 that I played, because the base classes that you choose, they start you off with an UMP with rapid fire, which I didn't like, but if you aimed it at people, they died before they even knew what hit them, and it was kind of cool for that. So I might go back to using the rapid fire with it, because I think the first game I ended up going 29 and 10 with it, so it felt pretty good. It reminded me of all the things I like about, the Modern Warfares, where people die really quickly, and if you can get your kill streaks, you can get something, really big happening. But I'm kind of in that twilight period of I don't know what kill streaks to use, I don't know what stack best and everything, so I'm just going to be testing the waters. But that's the end of this level, guys. I will see you in the next section, and as always, you take care now.